Hello, my name is Agatha, and this is a tarot forecast for the year 2017 for the country of Turkey. I'm using the Tarot Illuminati. I've already shuffled the cards and laid them down. I'm going to use a Celtic cross reading, which is it's a 10-card reading. If you like a private consultation with me, please send an email to dunyazade@gmail.com and I'd be delighted to work with you. So let's start. In the position of the significator or the general theme for the year 2017 for Turkey, the card that came up was the Prince of Swords, or the Knight of or the Knight of Swords in traditional decks. So there might be a year of extreme violence all around in 2017 for Turkey, and this violence might be coming from all sides, from the military themselves, and also this could also mean many more terrorist attacks, and these terrorist attacks might kind of happen out of the blue quickly, in a kind of an impulsive way, not really well thought of, but there might be many, and they don't need to be well thought of. They could be, but they're quick. That's what I'm trying to say. They might be thought of, planned out. But the main thing about these terrorist attacks is that they will be quick, and there might be many throughout the year 2017 in Turkey. They might be done by young men. Also, this could mean also violent acts perpetrated by the authorities themselves. This might also mean that, according to the other cards, there might be, again, another military coup done by young people, young soldiers. And it could happen also quickly. But again, I'm not thinking they planned out for the future. They didn't plan it out very well. It could be that as well. This might also mean there's someone young is, gaining visibility. Someone young within the armed forces is more or less becoming a leader, more and more visibly also. In the position of that which is yet not seen, there's the King of Wands. Now this could be a new leader, a really new leader coming up. And I'm not thinking military, but it could be military, but a new leader within Turkey. A new leader within the civilian forces, a new president, a new prime minister. I don't exactly know what is what's the system there. So in this person might be someone. It showed up as a king, someone who is knowledgeable, someone who's competent, someone from a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, someone who's popular, someone who's charismatic. Someone who might be arrogant, someone who might be like, it's my way or no other way, someone kind of in a more negative way does have characteristics of a dictator. So it could be young, someone, a new leader, not young, but a new leader coming up. Or it could be someone, if there is a coup, if there is another military coup, someone who's like behind the scenes, pulling the strings of these young, I would say young officers that are doing the coup, the military coup, trying to overthrow the government again. It might come out in the media as a bunch of young officers, but really there's someone pulling the strings, and this person is maybe like a general or someone of extreme power, someone who's not an idiot, okay, but someone who's behind the curtains, kind of leading the coup, kind of, or giving them ideas and resources and all sorts of things. Another way of reading this card, the King of Wands, is that whatever comes up in terms of violence, even in terms of military coups, whatever comes up violently, the Prime Minister or the President Erdogan, the one who is the leader now, will be able to deal with everything. Okay, he will be able to deal with everything. He will be able to determine how things will go, the way they want them to go. Okay, he's not without power. He still has power. Okay. In the position for the root or the basis for the entire year of 2017 for Turkey, there's the Princess of Cups or the Page of Cups in traditional decks, in traditionally named Page of Cups. I'm thinking that whatever violence happens, there might be violence also towards women. There might be a year of 2017 in Turkey where there's more and more news coming up about violence towards women, usually towards young women, maybe children, even teenagers, but young women. Another way is this card is also connected with spirituality. So the terrorist attacks that might happen in 2017, that might happen quickly, and a lot of them, it could be done by young men, and it has to do with their faith. But their faith isn't deep, or their knowledge of spirituality or their knowledge of religion is very surface level, because this showed up as a page or a princess. So it didn't showed up as a king. A king is someone who's a master. This is surface level knowledge. So this is just an excuse. Religion is just an excuse to be violent. Also, this could be a new religious leader. There could be a new religious leader within Turkey who might have a very big influence on the military or on new terrorist attacks also. And now, the past influencing the present or the year 2017, there's the star. It's like the past was like a new vision, a new future, a new idea for Turkey, or everything was great and fabulous in the past, everything was fine and wonderful, and now things are not like that. Things are not like that. Things seem to be the opposite. Like the past was glorious. The past was wonderful. The past was formidable. And this could be read in two different ways. Like the past as Turkey as a truly democratic and secular country, although it's Muslim. If I'm not mistaken, it is supposedly the only secular country where there is a separation between religion and the state in the Muslim world. It could be seen as that, like, life was great, life was wonderful because of how things were, because of that separation. But we can read this card also differently, like the glorious past. The glorious past might not have to do which was great and where they were like leaders and it could be read as before that, before there was a separation between religion and state. It could be read as before, because Turkey, the Ottoman Empire had a lot of power. Also, so some of the terrorist attacks and some of the people who want to lead Turkey's destinies might not be looking at democracy the way it used to be, but they might be looking even beyond that. They might be looking at the Ottoman Empire the way it used to be, and they might be thinking that we should bring that back. So that might be the root of the things that fuel them. They might want to relive all of that again. There's a great story that I don't know the names. I read the book. This is so great, fabulous book, tiny little book, beautiful, from a French author. I wish I could. I don't have it here. I have it in another place, but I love that book so much. They talked about a very big. I don't think the word is king. Sultan on the 16th century, 17th century. It's a very big, very known story, and I don't know the names, but I just loved that book, and about a sultan or a king or a leader, a big leader, who had a friend, and this friend was a slave. And this friend and slaves were, it's interesting because in the Ottoman Empire they could really rise up to really big levels, you know, kind of like the Roman Empire. They could rise up to levels of hierarchy. So they could become extremely powerful. And that was interesting to know. And this friend was kidnapped when he was a kid, and he was raised as a slave. And they were always friends. And the king or the sultan, you know, he achieved he achieved the highest rank. I have to know this story. I'll search it and then I'll put it here below. And his friend was like the prime minister of some, you know, so he had a lot of power. And this friend bought a slave who was, you know, from Russia or something like that, and she was a woman. She was beautiful and she was blonde and all of that. And the friend gave this slave to I'm sorry, to the sultan, and he ended up marrying her. I like the ending because it's heartbreaking, because it speaks of the true nature of humanity. But it's a very famous story, and I really need to put it down here. And it's from the times where the Ottoman Empire was really big. So I'm thinking the past that Turkey is looking back upon is that past. It's not the past connected with democracy. It's not the past connected with secularism. It's not that type of past. It's a more glorious past. What isn't on Turkey's mind? What is on Turkey's mind, and what do Turkish people want? The card that came up was the justice card. So maybe they want justice. They want true equality. They want things to be in harmony, in equilibrium. They don't want terrorism. They don't want violence. They want things to be nice and calm. Also, this is more or less connected with that, because the Princess of Cups also is connected with generosity, with peacefulness and harmony. They want their inside world and their outside world to be in peace and harmony. They want things to be conducted within rules, not necessarily democratic rules, but they want everything to be harmonized. They don't want violence. That's what I'm thinking. And they want the rule of law to be established. You know, that justice actually does its part, and justice prevails. Now, the near future, maybe 2 to 3 months from now, there's the Three of Cups. They're celebrating something. I don't know what it is, but they are celebrating something. Turkey will be celebrating something with enemies. With friends, with allies, not with enemies. But they'll be celebrating something with friends and allies. Now, who are their friends and who are their allies? I don't know. I really don't know. We're celebrating something. I don't know what it is. Now, how do Turkish people see themselves and how do they feel? That's the Eight of Pentacles. They see themselves as some hardworking people. Whatever's happening, they kind of bury their heads on work. They kind of don't look at whatever's happening on the news. They just work. This card came out for Germany also, if I'm not mistaken. In this position, how the Germans see themselves, it was the Eight of Pentacles also. It's like work, and it's the way of dealing with things. They work, or they keep their routines. They're keeping their habits. They're keeping their ordinary routine. going to work, going to school, whatever it's happening in Turkey, they're just living their ordinary lives. Some Turkish people might be turning into art. This is also connected with art. They might be turning into art. There might be, because this card is also connected with hobbies. When you work on something that you love. So some might be turning into hobbies in art, anything artistically where they can express themselves artistically. This is the way they have to deal. This is the way they have to deal with the outside violence happening in their country. It could be that as well. Now, the others, how others see Turkey. The card that came up was the Two of Wands. Others might be seeing Turkey as a country that's expanding, as a country that is making plans. Now, if I want to be a bit paranoid, which I am a bit, I could say that Turkey might be, at least as seen by others, by other countries and by the world at large, Turkey could be thinking of expanding their territory or expanding their influence. So they might be thinking of conquering something. They might be making plans of conquering something. If it's not that, if there is a military coup, boiling up, other countries and other, I would say even maybe secret services, they might be aware that something is being prepared, something is being cooked, like something is being planned. So other countries might be aware of that. This could also be a card of immigration. There might be a lot of immigration. There might be a lot of Turkish people leaving Turkey. They might be wanting to leave the country. So they're planning out. Maybe during 2017, they're like in the phase of planning. We have to leave to another country. We have to go to work to another country. So like maybe many Turkish families are taking 2017 as something to prepare so they can leave. Or even during 2017, they will leave Turkey and they'll emigrate to other countries. Another way of reading this, I'm thinking about the refugees. Other countries might be seeing Turkey as an entrance point of the ships carrying the refugees. So Turkey is an entrance, which we already know. Turkish is an entrance point of refugees. So there might be more and more refugees arriving to Turkey in 2017. In the position of fears, hopes, advice, and dreams, there's the World. Now, the World is a completion. It's a major arcana card, and it's a completion card. It could mean success, but it could also mean completion. I'm not going to read this as success. There might be some sort of success for Turkey in about 2-3 months' time. I don't know exactly what it is, but it might be. But I'm reading this as a completion. There's like a cycle within Turkey, which might be completed in 2017. Now, what is that? I don't know. I don't know. The World is connected with foreigners, this card, in distant lands. So maybe this is the year where they will stop receiving refugees. Maybe this is the year they're like, okay, we have seen an increase of terrorist attacks in Turkish soil. So what they are planning is stopping, this is boats, but stopping people from crossing into their border, crossing into Turkey. And this might be the year where they'll decide to do that. Just stop receiving refugees. What else this could be? So I can't read this as success. I can't read this as wishes fulfilled. I can't. I can read this as hope. Turkish people are hopeful that they will have a successful year of 2017. I'm not going to read it as hopeful as that. I don't think they'll have a very good year. There might have, like from time to time, they might have, good news. But I'm seeing this more as a completion. There's a completion within Turkey. I don't know what is. That's like the end of a cycle, which I'm thinking might be to do with refugees, where they close the borders. It could be that, but it could be any other thing. It could be a new leader, a new military leader popping up into the scene. It could be something to do with religion, a new religious leader also. And this will determine like the end of a cycle. In this cycle, what would be? Might have to do with democracy, the way they have lived democracy up to that point. I don't know, it might be a leader leaving and another coming in. I don't exactly know what it is. The outcome. The outcome, it's another major arcana card, it's the devil. It's not going to be a very good year for Turkey in 2017. It's again people feeling shackled. It's dealing with terrorism. It's dealing with the shadow side of people. It's not good. It's violent. It's going to be a violent year. I'm sorry to say this, and it's people will be feeling like this. They will be feeling trapped. Like they're victims of this situation, which is true. People will be feeling, Turkish people will be feeling like powerful leaders or a powerful leader is keeping them down. It's a violent year. I'm sorry to say this, but it's a violent year. Okay, I wish I had better news to give you. It's more people also. There's a lot of people who was arrested. Like there's like this big purge in Turkish society. That's going to continue. That's not going to end. That's going to continue. Now, how if you're Turkish, or if you happen to live in Turkey, if you're a Turkish citizen, or if you live in Turkey, how will this year of 2017 be for you? Okay. Okay, pick A or B. Pick A or B, and I'll tell you. Okay, A or B. A or B. Okay, hey, A. If you picked A, the card that came up was the King of Pentacles, so it might be not a bad year. You might be focusing in your business, and you might be making a lot of money with work. With your career, with your profession, in terms of profession, career, and money, things are good. If you picked B, you have strength. It's a year where you will be working on your self-domain, where you'll be working on controlling yourself, controlling what you feel and think and want to do. So it's a year of a lot of self-discipline, a lot of self-domain. It's a year of courage also, where you will have to face things with extreme courage. It's a year where you will discover that you are truly a very courageous person. Okay? I'm getting here from Turkish people how Turkish people seem to be courageous, and how do they deal with things? They work. They want justice, and they want equality for all, and they also want I would say peace. They want that, and peace and quiet and harmony. They want this, that. And the way they have to deal with things is just focusing on work. That's it. Okay, this is the reading that I have for Turkey for 2017. Then you can come back and say, you got it right. My God, you're amazing. Or you can come back and you say, you got it wrong. Oh my God, you're awful. I don't know. Okay, you can tell me you got this right, you got this wrong, and you could tell me below, and I'll try to find the story, because that's an amazing story and I really like that story, and I'll try to find the book. Okay, bye bye.